Hey, hello, guys. How is everyone? Hold on, I gotta get my template out because I tend to ramble a little bit. But I'm so excited to be on here with you guys tonight. So I am going to start. So Kelsey and I are going to be talking a little bit, and then we're going to interview a couple amazing, amazing people last month who promoted to some really awesome promotions. So I'm just going to get started with my story. And I apologize if you guys have heard my story multiple times, but some of you are new. I see some new faces. So some of you haven't heard it. I am actually from a really small town. And I just think it's so funny because I literally just had a potential distributor say, well, I don't think I know enough people to sign up and do this business. And I'm like, I just like laughed out loud because I'm like, I'm from a village with less than 5,000 people. And that's the beauty of social media. So I joined this business 4 years ago, over 4 years ago, kind of just on a whim. I was out visiting my sister in Las Vegas, and she had just joined with Kelsey Thornton. And she's like, you should do this business. And I was at a point where we needed the extra money. And I kind of just like trusted my sister. It was like that trust thing. And I said, okay, if my sister's doing it, she's super smart. She has a law degree. If she's doing it, I'm going to do it. So I joined kind of just on a whim. I hadn't really tried the products or anything like that. So I thought, okay, we'll see how this goes. So I kind of just reached out to Kelsey for help because my sister fell off, totally fell off, didn't even work the business, she didn't even try. So I kind of was just like messaging Kelsey, asking her questions. She took me under her wing pretty quick, and she, helped me with everything I needed. And I just took off with the business. I was really excited. My first month, I signed quite a few customers, and that hyped me up. I know if you're new on here and you get your first couple wins, your first couple customers, you're like, you build that confidence. You're like, I can do this. This is exciting. I can do this. And so that's kind of what's for me. I was signing customers and signing customers. And eventually I signed my first distributor. And I thought, you know what? If I can do it, I can do it again. If I've signed a customer, I can sign another. If I signed a distributor, I can sign another. So I really just kept going. And 4 months in, I promoted to the rank of diamond. And gosh, it was like a year and a half later, I promoted to double diamond. That was like the hardest promotion for me, getting from diamond to double, just because you can pretty much go ruby, emerald, and diamond on your own, or maybe with one or two people working. Going from diamond to double, you kind of need other people working. So that was like the hardest one for me. And then going from double to triple, I think took me about 5 or 6 months later. And that was smooth because I was building leaders. I was helping people do what I learned to do. I was helping other people do the same thing. So been with this business for 4 years, pushing for presidential this year, which is really scary and huge. But this business has been such a blessing for our family. I have an 18-month-year-old. I had to think about that. I have an 18-month-year-old, yeah. And I'm like, I stay home with him every day. So this business is like truly the biggest blessing because when I joined, we weren't married yet and we didn't have a family. And now that I have my son, it's just been like amazing because I'm able to stay home with him every day. And truly that's been the biggest blessing. But financially, we've been able to do a lot, pay off debt, buy a house, renovate it, buy a new vehicle. Our goal this year, and that's like why I'm like prez is to finish our basement. It's going to be a lot, but that's the biggest blessing about this business is if I was just working my 9 to 5 job, I would not be able to make, oh, well, let's renovate our basement this year. When I was working 9 to 5, I did not have the income to be able to even have a savings account, let alone say, oh, let's finish our basement and let's buy a new vehicle and do all these things that we want to do. So anyways, that's enough about me. Kels, let's hear your story, girl. Wherever she
It's
is.
funny because Liz and I have kind of, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So Liz and I have kind of gone through like similar seasons from the time of joining. Like our kids are, I think, a week or 5 days apart. Our sons are. So But I'm Kelsey Offerman, and I have been in the business for 3 years as of April 11th, which is crazy. Like it's gone by so freaking fast, and in like a really good way. And when I joined, I wasn't looking for the opportunity whatsoever. I was just approached by my enroller on Instagram. She had been following me for a couple of weeks, interacting on my post. Hint, hint, do this. And then she messaged me and said, "Hey, girl, I think you'd be really good at what I do. Do you want to make an extra income from your social media?" And I had heard this time and time again. I had blocked people and deleted people and was like, this is a pyramid scheme. This is such a scam. No, I don't want to do anything. And for her, because she had been interacting with me, I was kind of creeping her page here and there, and just seeing like her lifestyle posts mainly. And then I was like, wow, I actually kind of like this girl. I don't feel like I can block and delete her right away. So she was like, if I send you a video talking about it, would you watch it? And I said yes. And it was a Morgan Martin video at the time, Morgan McIntyre. And I was like, wow, crap, this girl's paying off her student loan debt check. I had like 5,000 of that from, and I'm a college dropout. So it was like, okay, I'm not really making a lot of money. And just credit card debt. I was 2 months away from getting married, living in a new town with my at the time fiance because he works for the railroad. He got a promotion. We moved across the country from Illinois to New York and just moved to Pennsylvania. So I was in a new town, starting a new job, 2 months away from getting married. Not exactly like a convenient or like, oh yeah, this is the perfect time to join. But after contemplating for about a week or two, I was like, okay, like, let me sign up. I signed up. I stalled. I got scared of judgment because I was from a town of, 1,200 people. And for where I was from, the reason I thought this was a pyramid scheme and a scam is because everyone around me said that. If you were to ask me, oh, why is it a pyramid scheme? I wouldn't be able to tell you. Like I was just taking people's opinions for myself. And finally, I got on a call with Kelsey and Connie, and they told me how, like if you take this seriously, treat it like a college degree, treat it like a 9 to 5 job, like more than a side hustle. Do you know how much money you can make? And I was like, well, not really. And they're like, this is how much money you can make. And I'm like, in a month? Wait, no, like not in a year? Like, okay. And so I got to work and I was like pooping my pants, making my first post and everything. And I did it anyway. And the same people I thought would judge me for being that girl and doing direct sales and stuff, they were my first supporters. They were my first customers. And the customers started rolling in and I just did everything Connie told me to do. So posting, taking ideas from her posts, from other top leaders' posts. I was on YouTube Academy whenever I could be, like, so going to top income earners, YouTube's, all the trainings, any spare time I had on the commute to work, in the shower, laying in bed at night. Like, I was so in, right? Like, I did everything I could, hopping on these Zooms. And the community, I wasn't expecting that. And so that I think without the community, I would probably not have stayed in the business because I did have, some bumps in the road along to promoting to Ruby, which I believe happened technically in my first 2 months. And then right before we were paid as Ruby, somebody between the first of the month and prelim dropped off. And it was like, oh, just kidding, you're not Ruby. But the next month I went Ruby, so it was fine. And I think it was like 2 months after that Emerald, 3 months after that Diamond, 3 months after that Double. And it was a roller coaster. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't smooth. And I worked really hard. I would wake up early. I'd go to bed later. I worked on my lunch break. I neglected my husband a little too much, if I'm being honest. I didn't know time management and setting boundaries with my phone. I just was so excited and so into the business that I really just wanted to do the business. And once I started getting that feeling of, wow, I don't want to put my phone down, I realized like I didn't join to quit my job, but I think I want to quit my job. And so we ended up, I think right around the time I hit Double Diamond, finding out we were pregnant. And I was like, okay, my husband works like really weird days. He's only off during the week. I don't get enough time with him. And now I have a baby on the way. Yeah, I want to like go down to part-time. And because I went Double Diamond, that income allowed me to go down to part-time, which I went through a really bumpy stage during that pregnancy. I'm not going to lie. I let my emotions get the best of me and I was really tired and lazy, if I'm being frank with you. And I did fall off and I have lost rank and still fighting to get things back and fighting for Triple Diamond in the next 60 to 90 days, which I'm so freaking excited for, because that is just like the income that, being that I'm pregnant again now with baby number 2, and we're going to be buying a house this month. Praise Jesus. We need the income, and I cannot make the kind of money that this business is going to provide me with any other job, let alone do so working like alongside my kids, you know? So that's pretty much my story, I think. And then Alyssa's gonna take over here for a little bit. And really quick, guys, I want to let you know that every single person that we're talking to tonight, just like we are still to this day, are very nervous. So if you can hype up the chat and just encourage everybody, if something that they say you relate to or inspires you, shout them out in the chat, and let's just love on everybody.
That's literally what I was going to say. Like, Kelsey's been in this business, what'd you say, 3 years, over 3 years. I've been in business over 4 years, and we're still like nervous to get on this Zoom, like, ah. But anyways, yeah, Kelsey and I have been through so many life transitions, and that's what I love about this business is there's like been so many ups and downs, but this business has been there every step of the way, you know, to get us the friendships is truly kind of what Kelsey was touching on. I've met some of my best friends because of this business, and it's been such a blessing. Okay, so where is Sarah? My girl, Sarah, okay, I see her. Oh, yay. Okay, Sarah just promoted to Emerald last month, literally killed it, signed over 30 customers. But before we get into all of that, Sarah, just tell us a little bit about what life was like before It Works versus what it's like now.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. All right. So hello, I'm Sarah. I joined It Works about 6 months ago. Before It Works, I was working at a 7-year career in the travel industry. COVID hit, so of course, travel just basically stopped. And I was always like, oh no, it won't be me. I won't lose my job. Well, I lost my job. I was 7 months pregnant with my second. He's a little boy now. He's 9 months old. But I was pregnant. And of course, I was like panicked. I'm like, great, we don't have any money. Like, what am I going to do? But I worked from home. So even though I was working, I was in the same house as my daughter at the time. So I basically was like, no, I am not leaving my babies. Like, there's just no way. And not to mention, like, all the COVID stuff was going on. So I was already scared to go anywhere, let alone get a new job, be around all these people, and then bring, whatever home to my kids, my newborn. So I was actually following Alyssa for a long time on Instagram. Don't know how. We were friends, don't know how. But I saw her all the time on her stories, making her coffee, being home with her son. And I'm like, okay, I got like baby weight, quarantine weight. I'm like, I need to do something. So I reached out to her. I actually became a customer first. I had my coffee, my greens. I was dropping weight quick. And I was like, okay, I came from sales. I can do this. If you believe in something, you can do it. And this was working. Like, it works, right? So I joined the business, and I am just so thankful for the team that I am on, because I truly feel if I didn't sign up on this direct team, I wouldn't be where I am today. Everyone is so helpful and kind and encouraging, and everyone's just such a go-getter. And when you're surrounded by go-getters, like, you just want to keep running with them. So I promoted to Emerald in February, which was not easy, but I knew I wanted it. I wanted the promotion. So yeah, I just did what I had to do.
I was going to say, don't go any further yet. But no, I love it because Sarah, I remember she was my customer before she became a distributor. And I remember her, I'm pretty sure she sent me like her after pic. I didn't even ask for them. I'm pretty sure she just like sent me her after pictures. And I was like, dang, like, I'm not even kidding you guys. She was really like dropping the weight and looking good. And I'm like, okay, I think you just need to do this business. And she's like, I think you're right. So she signed up, and the rest is history. But anyways, what did promotion month look like for you? Did you have to make any sacrifices?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So my husband travels, he's in the travel industry still. So he travels for work. And like I mentioned, I have a 2-year-old and a 9-month-old right now. So towards in the beginning of February, I knew I needed a lot of volume. I was at Ruby, but a lot of my customers dropped their auto shipment. So I needed basically to all the volume a Ruby would need, right? I needed like 2,000. So I knew I had to bust my butt and work at any point I could. Not to mention the last week of February, my husband was gone all week. I stayed up, I woke up earlier, stayed up later, fit in wherever I could. I even asked my mom and dad to like babysit them some of the days so I could just really sit down and focus on my business. But yeah, I really just made sure I made the time. You know, if my son woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning for a bottle, which he doesn't always do, but if he did, I was working, I was adding to my network, I was prepping my posts for the next day, I was doing anything I could to set myself up, you know, for the next post, the next message to send out. You know, I really just, I made the time. I knew I had to.
Did you ever have a moment of weakness or a moment of, I don't know if I can do this? And if so, how'd you get past it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was probably right before my husband left. It was because he was leaving the last full week of February and I was by myself and I was like, I still needed like, what, like 1,200 volume in a week. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to do that? I don't have any help at home, you know? And I just, like I said, I had to do it. I stayed up late. I woke up early. I made the time. It's up to you, you know, I was tired. I mean, I have 2 kids, right? I would have loved to go to bed at 9 o'clock with them, but I knew if I wanted to promote in promotion month, I had to just stay up. So I just did what I had to do.
I love it. I remember just like our pep talks, of just like, you can do it. You can do it, just making that decision and just saying, you're doing it. You're almost there. That last week and your husband was gone. I was like, nope, you're only 1,200 away. You're doing it. We're getting it done. It's happening. And it did. So just making up, it's all about mindset, just making up your mind and just saying, I'm doing it. I'm putting my blinders on. I'm getting to work. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Kelsey is going to be interviewing Tabby, who promoted last month as well.
Yes, I have to tell you guys something so funny though, because so Alyssa enrolled Sarah. However, Sarah lives 30 minutes from me, and we just discovered this like 3 months ago. And so conference time comes around, and we're all like, staying in state for it. And we're like, hey, a party at my house. So Sarah came over, Tabby came over, and it was a point where they're both like in their business, they're ready to go. And we're hearing about all the promotion, bonus opportunities and everything. And it's just full circle now. It's like, hey, y'all wanted to promote, and here we are tonight. Y'all promoted. So Tabitha is who we are going to be talking to next. I met her through, thank God I was working as a medical receptionist for a little bit longer, because I did meet her from when I was floating around different offices. And Tabitha, we are gonna get in here. Let me find you, and I'm gonna unmute you because I don't think you can do it. Hey, hang on. How come every time I go to click your name? Does that happen when you search somebody and you click them?
I thought Sarah unmuted herself, but
Can
yeah,
you
she
unmute
did.
yourself?
Oh yeah, I can.
I was like, did she hop off? She was like, Kels, I can't do the Zoom. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. But it's fine. I'm so excited to hear you tell the people. You're like someone I'm seriously so proud of, because when you first joined, you were like, first of all, let me tell you a little backstory with Tabby. She was a customer, and I'll let her kind of explain that more. But she starts like posting within a month or two, like keto coffee posts, like we would post as distributors. And I'm like, hold up, you're a customer. What are you doing? And why aren't you doing the business yet? So she finally started working. But tell us a little bit, like before it works, what made you want to join, and kind of your journey so far.
Okay, so before It Works, I was working full-time at a daycare. Didn't have much time for anything else, get off of work at 6 o'clock, come home, make dinner, get the kids ready for the next day. And we were back at it the next day to do it all over again. I was not low on money, so I was paying our bills, but I didn't have that extra money to do other things that we wanted to do. We couldn't go on date nights, couldn't get my hair done, my nails done, just go shopping and do whatever we wanted to do. So that was the main reason that I wanted to join, was just to have that extra money. And obviously, because I love the products, I was a customer of Kelsey's beforehand, and I saw what the products could do for me, and I figured they could do that for everybody as well.
And then let's talk about, so Tabby here, she had what I'm going to call a shift moment. So you were in the business, and then you were kind of cruising, and then something shifted and you're like, Kelsey, I want to go Ruby. So I want you to tell us what kind of sparked you to really start taking this seriously.
So like I said, I kind of wanted just to join for that extra money. So I was very content just making $100 a month, $200 a month. And that's all I really wanted. Once my son was going back to school, started school in August, because of COVID, he could not actually go into school. So he had to do full virtual learning. So at that point, me and my husband had to make a decision for me to cut down my hours. So I really decided at that point that I needed to make this work and actually do more than the bare minimum of what I was doing.
And so if you're a leader listening to this, put yourself in my shoes. Here I am with this customer turned distributor that I was like, thank God she became a distributor, because I actually wanted to ask her a year ago to join the business when I met her in person, but I was way too shy at that point to tell people about the opportunity. And then, oh my God, she joined. And then I'm like, oh crap, she's not really ready. She just wants that side cash. She doesn't want to hustle. I want to take her diamond. And she's like, I'm good with $100. So for me, it was heart wrenching. And now I'm like, yes, she's stepping into her potential. Because I think it's very common for a lot of us to see something in our distributors, our team, before they kind of see it in themselves. And this is your reminder to not give up on them. Because what if I hadn't kept a connection with Tabby, and she didn't feel comfortable coming to me and saying hey, I want to take this seriously. Hey, I want to go Ruby. So just a little reminder for leaders. And then, so you promoted last month, right? I'm not crazy, to Ruby. It was last month. It almost feels really long ago, but it happened. So I want you to tell the people what went different last month versus the previous months. Were you making sacrifices? What did your schedule look like? What was your mindset like?
So in the previous months, I was doing my 6 list and getting my daily tasks done. So I told myself, there was always things that I was not doing, like sending the host a post to people. I was always just hoping they would come to me. So for me, I was just telling myself, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it's still not working. But then when I actually sat down and thought about it, I wasn't doing it. And it wasn't until I actually had a Zoom meeting with Kelsey and then her upline, Connie, that it was this is what you need to do and you will promote. And January came along and I was just okay, we're doing this. I was so pumped after that Zoom meeting. And those first 2 weeks went by and I was so overwhelmed. It was rough. And I almost wanted to just be no, I'm not doing this. My husband was up my butt because I wasn't spending time with him. And it was ridiculous. So it wasn't really until I came up with a routine and a game plan of throughout my day of when I wanted to get my stuff done that it really clicked and it worked, and everything just kind of fell into place from there.
What you just said reminds me so much. I was listening to a sermon, I think it was last week's. It was Stephen Furtick, and it reminds me of this. So he was saying like a lot of people when they're learning to play guitar, before they get it down, before they really learn, they stop because their fingers hurt too much. And everyone's like, no, just keep going. Once you get the calluses, like you're gonna be good. You just have to make the callus. Like that's what you were going through. Like, yes, we told you the work that needs to be done if you're serious about promoting. You started doing it and you're like, oh, this is really hard. Like this is hard because you hadn't been doing that. You'd been doing kind of the fun stuff, maybe like bare minimum what you wanted to do. And I've for sure freaking been there, like, oh, I want to make the cute graphics and I want to post. And like, sure, I'll get some host to post up. I'm not going to worry about getting like 5 to 10 up every day. But then once you're like, no, this is my standard. This is what I'm going to get done. I'm going to make my day not revolve around it, but like, okay, when can I get this done to where I feel really good about my work, but I still have time in my day to be with my kids, to give affection to my husband. And freaking Taylor, her husband, guys, he loves her so much. That's all I'm going to say. So she's being very serious when she says that he was like on her, like, come on, get off your phone. And yeah, you built up your calluses and now you're going to go emerald and it's going to be amazing. If you can give advice, like for what you went through, like, is there anything you would tell somebody who wants to promote, like that you've learned maybe from when you weren't taking it seriously or when you started taking it seriously? Like, what would you tell somebody who joined your team and they're like, okay, I want to promote? Like, what is that going to look like?
Definitely just trust the daily task list and, make sure you're doing every single thing on there. Like just because you're adding to your market doesn't mean you're going to get loyal customers. You need to send the messages. You need to do your interaction post on Facebook and post about your daily life every day, even when you don't want to do it too.
Yes. And it's just some people, like we tell them what it takes and they're like, okay, I'm going to do it. And they'll do it super consistently for like 3 to 5 days. And because they either like they struggle to get up the host to post, or they're not having new conversations, or they're not sealing the deal with customers, they instantly think there's something wrong with the system, or they think I'm not cut out for this, when really it's like you're planting the seeds and you just have to keep planting. Like the rain is going to come and it's going to make everything sprout and it's going to happen. Thank you for talking, Tammy. I'm so proud of you, girl. And Alyssa, we're going to go back to you to talk about one of my favorite people.
Yeah, I'm super pumped to be interviewing this person because this has been a long time coming and I'm so proud of her. But just tell us, what life looked like before it works, how long you've been with the company and what life looks like now.
Kelsey. Hello, I'm Emily. I live in a very small town in Wyoming. We have more cows than people. I started this business just completely on a whim. I had a friend come to me and she had just barely started and she wanted me to be a customer. And so I was like, sure, like whatever, I'll help you out, And then she was like, well, why don't you just join the business? And I was like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I know nothing. I've never heard of the company. I have never heard of network marketing, like online stuff. I did not know anything. And so she got me on a 3-way call with Alyssa and they kind of explained it. And I was like, why not? Like, okay, I'll do it, whatever. Like, it really didn't mean anything to me. I was like, I'll just get my products. I'll just do it. And it was kind of like that at the beginning. I was like, this is fine. I wasn't like so excited. I was like, I'll make like $200 so I can take one more day off of work so that I can spend one more day doing ranch things. Cause so I married a cowboy. We do ranch things all the time. I think it's so much fun, but I always had to go to work. And so they'd always be like, we're going to go ride our horses and move cows today. And I'm like, I'll be at work. Like I'm missing out. Send me pictures, So yeah, he's literally a cowboy. So that was like all I wanted. I just wanted to take like 1 or 2 more days off of work so I could be home and do those things. And then I made that $200 and it was like, okay, well, maybe I can make a little bit more, because at the time we were living in a camper on the ranch trying to put in a house. And it was taking a lot longer to put in the house than we were expecting. We thought we were going to go through like 6 to 9 months in the camper, and we did almost 2 years. So 2 winters in a camper that's not meant to be lived in through the Wyoming winter is not that much fun. And I was like, I'm done. Like, let's get this house in. So that really motivated me to kind of get moving and just work, because I was tired of living in a camper, honestly. Like, it was rough. So I just kind of picked it up, and I can't remember how long it took me to go diamond, but I went diamond, and it was very exciting. And we got our house started and all of this stuff. And then I definitely fell off. Like, I never quit. I took quitting off the table from the beginning. So I never, ever, ever quit. I worked every single day, and I can like tell you that I worked every single day. Whether I posted, I did something for the business every single day, but I wasn't doing what I needed to do to get anywhere. I was just coasting along, basically. So I just decided one day, more recently, it was probably like this past November, that I was ready to do it again. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I just believed in myself all of a sudden again, like self-development. I started getting on all of our team Zooms. I started doing my self-development every single day. And I was like, I did this before, like, why can't I do it again? And so I just really picked up and started working, and I just promoted to a double diamond last month. I can't believe last month was only like 8 days ago. It seems like it's been like forever already, but yeah, so it was a big, I literally, like, guys, I got paid as a ruby in December and got paid as a double diamond for February. Okay. So that's like a huge jump. Huge.
Wow. I'm so proud of you. I mean, and that just goes to show, look what can happen when you make up your mind that you're going to promote, that you're going to do it, and you're just going to get it done. I mean, it's crazy to me. That's such a huge jump from ruby. What is that? To emerald diamond. That's 3 ranks.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I'm just so proud of Emily, because that's what I was going to ask you. When was that shift? And she said it was in November, when she was finally like, I'm sick and tired of just putting in the bare minimum every day. And she got down and got to work. So let's say, I would say December, January, February, obviously you were killing it. What did the day look like? Because you guys are out a lot, doing things every day. So what does your days look like? And I say promotion month, but Emily, this push for her has been the past 90 days. So like, what were you doing to get to where you are last month to promote to double diamond?
Yeah. So like I said, it definitely started in November, kind of end of November. And then I was like, I'm feeling a comeback, right? I'm like still Ruby. So I'm like signing some team members, like starting to grow my team, starting to feel confident in like some of the people that I found. And I was like, we might have a chance at this. Like, okay, let's try it and see what happens, right? And so we just kind of kept going, like work with who you have, right? You know, like build the people that want to go with you. And I feel like that's really what I did, is I just found the people that I'm like, if you want to do this, like, this is where I'm going. Like, do you want to come with me? And like Alyssa said, like, my days are very, very unpredictable every single day. Okay. We do not know what we're doing. And I'm kind of the only girl out here. Like, I have my husband, and he has his dad and his uncle and his brothers. And like, I'm kind of the only girl that's like out here. So they just like do their thing, and they don't know what I need, that I'm like, you have to tell me what we're doing. Like, I need to know what we're doing. And they just don't. And so I had to figure out what I needed for myself to be like, if I need to get up in the morning and get this stuff done before his dad calls and says we need to go, I need to do that, because if I don't, I get home in the evening and I'm already defeated. So I had to figure out what I needed to do. And this season that we're in, it honestly just worked out all the way around, because the season that we're in here on the ranch, I have these mornings. And so like during the summer, our mornings start when the sun comes up. But right now we have a little bit more time in the morning that I'm able to get these things done. So I set up a little station at our kitchen island. I have my charts spread out. I have my computer. I have my planner. I have my notebook. And I just sat down in the morning with my coffee and I got my things done. I read my one chapter of my book. That was how I started every morning. Coffee, read a chapter of my book. And then I said, okay, I need to message 30 people before I leave the house, or 40 people. And I just did that every single day. And then there were days that it was hard. There were days that I did come home at the end of the day and I had to do a lot of things because I didn't do them in the morning, and that sucked. And so I just realized like that I needed to do the things in the morning. I needed to figure out what worked best for me.
And I will say, like, Emily is super consistent with making sure she gets her stuff done. Like when she's saying on those days that it was hard for her to get stuff done, that doesn't mean that she didn't just do them. Because I have proof on my phone that she did them. We're literally in a push chat and Emily sends me, we send 75 messages a day. Emily sends me her screen recording of her messages. I wake up 7 days a week with screen recordings from Emily. Okay. So if you want to go double diamond, you have to be consistent. I know we've said that word a lot on here. Hint, hint. Consistency is key. What would you leave us with? If someone is just on that brink of, I feel like I can do it, but I'm not sure if I can do it. It's March 8th. Like, what would you say to those people?
I would say don't forget to work on yourself, because I think that's the biggest thing that started this whole push for me, was that I started believing in myself again. Like I always knew I could do it. Like I knew what I needed to do, but then it was like, I do know how to sign customers. I do know how to sign distributors. And then you just do it over and over. And then you'll find the people that want to work with you, but you just have to start with yourself and like start going. And then you'll have people quit. I had multiple people quit right in the middle of this entire thing. And it's like, you just have to say, okay, thanks, bye, and keep going, because it doesn't mean anything to them. They don't care. This is for you. Like you're doing this for you. You're promoting for you. Like nobody else will benefit like you will for your own promotion. So I think you just need to decide what it is that you want to do. And if you're willing to put in the actual work that it's going to take to get to whatever level you want. Like this is definitely the hardest I've worked for a promotion. Like don't get me wrong, it was not easy. Okay. It took, what did we say? November, December, January, February. And February is a short month. Like I could have used those last 5 days. I'm gonna be honest, like February is short and it was stressful, but like, we just decided that we were going to do it and just did it. I don't know. It wasn't an option. We couldn't do it in March. We had to do it in February. So you just have to do it for yourself. I don't know.
I love it. And I'm so proud of you. You freaking killed it last month. You and your whole team, you guys were just like, it's a decision. We're getting it done and we're doing it. And it was fun. I'm sure. Yeah. Emily's telling you it's stressful, but she had fun. I know she did. She loves the thrill of just, we're doing it, we're getting it done, and we're all doing it together. And it's so much fun. Like you'll find that in promotion months, it's stressful, but that's the most exhilarating month of your life. It really is. Like you just wake up and you just feel like you're on something, because you're just like on a high for life because you're so excited. Okay, Kels, take it over.
Dude, it's also true. And hang on, something's distracting me. Okay. If you guys aren't like catching, there's a little trend going on. So everyone's saying they made sacrifices. They worked really freaking hard, but it's been worth it, obviously. Like, I still to this day can't believe that you can make, starting out at Ruby, $500 a month from your freaking phone. It is worth it. What else are you going to do? Are you going to take naps and do Netflix and sleep in? You're better than that. Okay. So the next girl we're talking to, Rebecca, call her Becky, call her Miss Retired. Somebody might have just quit her job. I don't know. She's going to have to tell you about it. But Rebecca here just promoted, not last month, but the month before, to Emerald. So Becky, if you can unmute and tell us a little bit before it works, what your journey has been like through promotions previously, and what life is like today.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Becky. Like Kelsey was saying, I'm now retired from the salon. Her and Connie were pretty much like, dude, just do it, just retire, like you got this. So yes, I have been doing hair since I was like 17. I'm now 23, and I was living off my tips for like day-to-day life. And then when my paycheck came, it was like, that's what I used for like bills, stuff like that. And then once all that was gone, it was like, oh, I have like $50 for, I don't even know, like food, whatever. But then it was like, okay, well, now I have to wait another 2 weeks for payday. So it was just not cutting it. So I was contemplating getting like a second job, but my issue was I didn't want to be physically at a second job. I was like, I don't want to do that. So I found this opportunity just scrolling on Facebook. And so I was like, yeah, like I want to do this. I'm gonna do it. I waited 2 days before I jumped in because I was like Kelsey was saying, is this still like a pyramid scheme? Like not even knowing what that was. But yeah, I ended up jumping in, and then 5 months in, I went Ruby, and then that's when I sat at Ruby for like a year and a half. I think I was just stuck. Like I was like, okay, I got what I came for. I was making like a couple $100 extra, so I just felt very like okay with it, which I shouldn't have been. And then I was in the same situation as Emily, where it was like in November, it was like the last day of November, I was like, I'm done with it. I need to like get my butt in gear because I'm like ready for more. I'm ready to go. So yeah.
That's the cool thing about the business, is because I know a lot of us is like, okay, I'm going to start out. For me, it was like, okay, I want to make $200 a month, and that's going to take care of the phone bill because I'm currently charging it to a credit card that's almost maxed out. Okay, great. And you know what happens as time goes on? More in life happens. So like, you're going to get married, you're going to buy a house, you're going to have kids, medical expenses. You might change to a really crappy health insurance and have a really crappy deductible. Hello. And you just don't know what is going to happen. So the beautiful thing is that if you're consistent with this business and you're sticking with it, you're staying plugged in, you're staying connected, the opportunity is always here. Even if you're not ready to go like dive in, like, hey, here's an opportunity if you need to make 500 a month or 8,000 a month. Here we go. Okay, thank you, whoever did that. So Becky, tell us a little bit, like when you were like, okay, I am going to do this, I'm going to promote. What kind of, was there a shift, and what did promotion month look like for you?
So there was a shift in like November, December, where, so it was really just like me and my sister working on my chart, and that was it, which yes, we could have went like emerald, diamond, whatever with just us. But for me, I was like, I don't want to do that. I kind of just like, I want like my own little team, and like, we're going to do this together. Like, I want to like change these lives. So I was like, I'm rebuilding my chart. Like I erased everyone that like wasn't working. And I was like, okay, like these are the lives I need to change now. This, like, I know what I need to do. So I'm just going to do it. So December is when I was like focusing really hard on DTs, getting them in. That way, like come January, February, we were like ready to roll. But yeah, during promotion month, it was just waking up earlier, staying up later, like everyone else is saying, make that easy sacrifice. I was still working in January. So I knew that if I didn't get up and get a majority of my list done, that by the end of the day, I was like, I'm probably not going to do it, or it's not going to be done like with intention or things like that. So I was like, just get up, do it. You'll feel good. Things like that. And then since we were in that push chat, if I didn't get a day done, I just gave myself grace, and I was like, okay, tomorrow's a new day, start fresh. Like I did what I could do, because it does happen. You don't complete your 6 list every day. It's just not going to happen. So don't beat yourself up about that. But yeah, I hopped on prayer Zoom every morning. I still do, because I was doing that and then I got out of the habit. So I feel like that really helped me. And then getting on Taylor's Power Hour too, that knocks out so much of your 6 list right there.
Yeah, I think like you're going to hear a lot of people on here saying the earlier you get as much work done as you can, like the better your day is going to go. You're going to feel like way more accomplished. You're going to be having new conversations spark up like throughout your day, rather than if you're waiting till at night, which I've been so guilty of. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, oh crap, I haven't done anything. Let me try to hustle everything in. And I also like, there's some days where I fall off, but the important thing is to like, instead of saying, oh, I'm such a failure, like this month isn't even going to happen when it's the 8th of the month, just hop back on tomorrow, do the freaking best you can, especially if you're going through like circumstances, hard times. Maybe you're going through a loss. Maybe you're pregnant and exhausted. I don't know, like whatever it is. By the way, guys, my lung capacity when pregnant sucks. And I'm over here like Judge Judy with the water jug so I can fill up my water and like rehydrate because I get dry mouth when I'm talking and pregnant. It's great. But I'm so freaking proud of you. I'm just getting distracted right now. So, hi, I'm blanking. So I'm thinking of what I was going to say. So how you said that like, yeah, my sister and I were working and like, yeah, we could have done the promotion. The thing of it is that doesn't excite you when it's like one person working on your chart or 2 people working on your chart. It kind of just like, it can be discouraging. 1000%. It can be super freaking discouraging. So I love that you said like, okay, I'm going to find people. Do I have people that maybe I need to reconnect with? And like, are they going to take it seriously? Okay, cool. And stay connected with them, have them reiterate to them, text me your conversations, show me screenshots, let me help you seal the deal with customers. It's that simple. And I think like for our team specifically, that's shifted a lot. The past 3 to 4 months is like, okay, we need community. We need to get to know people in their daily lives. We need them to know that like, hey, we do care about you and your dreams, and we know that you're capable of more, and just giving that confirmation to people that, they need. And then what did promoting to Emerald teach you? Is there any advice that you would give to anybody with your circumstance, what you went through? What would you say?
Just to make the decision and just believe that it will happen. I feel like that's all I did. Like every day I told myself, I was like, okay, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's happening. Like, here we go. And then another big tip is just, you told me to do it every day. Show my face like on stories, on your social media, because that's how people are going to connect with you. I didn't do it for the longest time. And then I finally took Kelsey's advice and look what happened. So yes, I think that's all I really have.
Yes. I know we've talked about it a lot, but there might be new people on here. I want you to know that, thank you for sharing, by the way, I'm so proud of you. The reason why it's important to get on stories. So Instagram stories, if you don't know what it is, ask me roller. But getting on there and actually talking to the camera is going to be the best way that people see what your personality is. And your personality is the first thing that's going to make them feel comfortable and feel like, okay, they're not a robot. They are a real person. I can trust them. And something that you've probably heard if you're new tonight is host to post. So host to post is a huge way that we grow our market, that we sign customers, even sign distributors. And what that is just asking people on your Facebook friends list, even your Instagram stories, not Instagram account, to share a post for you. And in exchange, we do a monthly giveaway. Okay. And there are trainings on YouTube, okay, from top enrollers and everything, but please go to your enroller and ask them to walk you through it step by step. So within your first week, if you learn how to do host to post, you're going to get your 6 customers pretty much from that. But yeah, Liz, is there anything you want to end us out with here?
Yeah, really quick. I do want to touch last thing, I promise. I know you guys, it's like late, everyone's ready for bed. Okay, it's March 8th. Don't count yourself out. Last month, there were a lot of people, even on my team, that were just enrolling like the first week of the month. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can I catch up with them? Can I even do this? I don't want you guys to count yourself out, because I have enrolled quite a few people already this month, and I've had people on my team say, oh my gosh, like I'm just not there yet. I'm not enrolling like I was last month, and feeling super discouraged. And I don't want you guys to count yourself out, because I'm telling you, the last 2 weeks, even the last week of this month, is going to be magical. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't continue to put in the work right now, it's not going to be magical. So yes, you're going to be planting a lot of seeds right now, host to post, interaction posts, things like that. But come the last 2 weeks of the month, it's just going to boom. So don't count yourself out, and hang in there, because like I'm telling you guys, the last week of the month, last probably 4 or 5 days of the month, our volume increased by 3,000. Okay. So don't count yourself out. You guys have got this. Like, keep going, and it's going to be amazing. March Madness, you guys. This Zoom was awesome. I hope you guys have a good night.
Liz, this was so good. Somebody had a question, and I'm interested to see how you would answer it. What would you say to somebody who says they're camera shy?
You want me to answer it? Yeah, I've gone on a lot of coaching calls with people who feel the same way, that are very camera shy and very afraid to put themselves out there. I get it, because I was kind of the same way before I did this. And a lot of it stems from, what are people going to think about me? You know, when I go in front of the camera, what are people going to think about me? And at the end of the day, I really want you to think, hold on, who said that? Rochelle, at the end of the day, I really want you to think, like, why did you join this business? Is it for your family? Is it because you have kids? Is it because you want to pay off debt? Is it because you're miserable at your job? Think about all those reasons why you joined this business, and that's going to push you to get in front of the camera and say, you know what? I love this coffee. I love these products. It makes me feel good. I have energy. I can be present for my kids, and I'm sharing this with you guys. It's not about being a salesperson. You're literally sharing products that is changing your life with other people. And so, yeah, it's scary to get in front of the camera, but I really want you to remember, like, why did you join this business? And keep that on the forefront every single day. When you wake up in the morning and you're scared to make your coffee in front of people, just realize, like, I joined this business for this reason. And so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it scared, but I'm going to do it anyways. And you have a whole team of people, all these people are cheering you on every single day. And if you need help with anything, go to your upline, go to your sidelines, like, find some people who are going to support you and cheer you on and lead you on every single day.
So good. I want Rebecca and Emily to say something on that, because they both said that this was them at one point in time, or is still them.
Okay. So what I started with, honestly, because I was the same way, I was like, when people ask me about the products, I can find the message on my phone or find my notes on my phone, right? And like reply to them that the coffee does this and this and this and this. But then when you have the phone in front of you, you're like, it burns fat and like it tastes good, right? Like, that's how I still do that. Okay. But what I started doing when people were like, show your face on the camera, I literally would like sit there and call my dog over, and I'd have my dog and I'd sit there and pet my dog and be like, this is my dog, and today we're going to go do this and whatever. And then go out and see the horse and like talk about just random things. I did not talk about the business or the products for a very long time when I first started showing my face on my screen, because I didn't know how to do that. And it was like making me too scared to do it. And so then I just wasn't doing it. So I was like, well, if I start here, I can work into it. So now I've definitely like gotten better about it. Like, I can show my face every day, but I guarantee most of my stories are me not talking about the business or products. Like, I'll throw it in there, but it's about other things. And that's like what people like. They can get to know you and like what you're doing, and they follow your life and follow like the weird things that happen to you or funny things. Like, just talk about your kids, your pets, like something that happened in your house. You stepped on a spider. Like, I don't know, just talk about anything else. And then you can get to the business and the products later, once they like get to know you. And then once you feel more comfortable. So that's all I have to say.
That's so good. So good. Rebecca, your turn. Becky with the good hair.
Yeah, it's kind of just like what Emily was saying, just showing your face about like normal life. Like, they just want to know that you're real, like that I mean, we say like, oh, we're no one special, like doing this. And like, we aren't, like, we're just normal people. So we need to show that and not be like, try to be so perfect, because no one can relate to that. And another thing that's helped me with the stories is like putting something like interactive on there that they can like reply to. That way it's not just them watching it and they just like click through all of them, because there's nothing like in there that they can relate to or talk about with you or whatever. So it's easy to build relationships like that too, that aren't business related or product related, because then when they are interested in that, they'll come to you because they're like, oh, I already know her. She's like a friend or this or that. So yeah.
That's so good. The only thing I want to add is that based like what they were saying, I want you guys to think about getting on the camera this way. I love that the camera is now like video content is now a thing, because beforehand it was very hard to be relatable when you would post one picture, because nobody wants to post a picture with your hair in spikes after you get done working out, because like that's like your best, that's your like one chance, right? When you're posting where you're showing your face, that's your one chance. And so not, I don't necessarily want it to be like this not super flattering picture of me. Now, because I can get on my stories whenever, all day, I'll get on there and my hair is literally going 7 different directions. I don't know what the heck is going on. People are like, this chick gets just get electrocuted, but it shows so much authenticity. And this will allow the trust process to speed up in your business, because people will get into business and buy products from people that they trust, that they know, that they trust, and they like. You are so much more likable on camera because you look more authentic than you do in just a pretty picture. That's not me, right? You can't get to know me from this. You can get to know me when I talk and then I mess up and I drop things and I'm like, just like how I react to those things. How do I add comedy? Am I funny? Am I not funny? Do I take myself seriously? Do I not take myself seriously? People will sense those things in 3 seconds, not in 3 years. Right? And so when you start to show yourself, you are so much more relatable, just like Rebecca said. You don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, like, is this edited properly? Is this whatever? All you do is you get on there, you pick a filter, okay? And you roll with it and you be you. You can talk about the products, but you guys, don't think that you have to talk, like Emily was saying, don't think you have to talk about the products like is listed on the website, because they can go to the website for that. They want to know how you feel. That's why they come to you. They don't need to know that it has sunflower oil and so and so and so and so. They don't care. What they want to know is, does it work and how do you feel on it? So if you say, well, I feel great because of the blood orange extract Morrisol, that doesn't make anybody feel anything. What makes people feel things is when they see the results, or you show them how you're feeling, or you show how your pants are fitting, or you show what the results look like. Right? So stop worrying about if you know how to say Morrisol or green tea extract or whatever. Nobody actually cares. And the people that do, they'll go look. But nobody cares. They want to know your energy, your excitement, how it made you feel. And so get on there, not knowing anything about anything, but being super excited. And I promise you will see so much difference in that. Okay, guys, I'm going to close this out if that's okay, Liz or Kels. Okay. Dear Lord, we thank you tonight just for this whole team. I am so blessed, Lord, that we just have such amazing people that are in our organization that you've built. Don't give anybody the credit, Lord, but take all the credit yourself, and know that what you're building here is just getting started, that this is just the tip of the iceberg for what is to come. And we are people who seek you, who seek your heart, who seek your just your kingdom. And whatever we do, Lord, we're going to give praises and glory back to you, because we know that even if we had success without you, we wouldn't want to keep it, because with you, everything is so much better. And I thank you for giving us the wisdom. I thank you for giving Emily and Sarah and Rebecca and Alyssa and Kelsey and Tabitha, all of the courage tonight to get on here in front of 90 something people and speak over them, just what they've learned and the wisdom that they've gained from their experience and the success that they've been able to have in this business. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity. I ask that every single person under the sound of my voice just hears that this is an opportunity. This is not a job. This is not a requirement. It is simply an opportunity for which we can change our families' lives and our own life. We love you so much, Lord. We thank you for everything. I ask that you just increase this team, that you increase our territory, that you enlarge our territory, and that you increase our character so that we can sustain the blessings that you give us. In your name we pray. Amen. Thank you, Liz and Kels, and everybody else who shared. Y'all killed it. Bye. Have a good night.